I'm so excited. There are real heroes out there in the world walking amongst us. I was recently honored to be a pallbearer at Jeff De Prosperis' funeral. And so was Dwight. And Dwight's become a good friend of mine. And during this funeral, there were hundreds of people. I'm gonna start crying again. There were hundreds of people that came out to honor Jeff De Prosperis. Jeff De Prosperis is a hero. Jeff De Prosperis inspired so many people. But there were hundreds of people at Jeff's service, and I was sitting as a pallbearer at the front of the church, and right to my left was Jeff's coffin. And everyone was coming up, taking communion, and touching Jeff's coffin, and everyone was crying, and everyone was mourning the loss of this incredible, amazing individual, Jeff De Prosperis. And I looked over to my right, where Dwight was sitting with the other group of pallbearers with me, and I started crying. I had to pull myself together because this thought entered my brain. Every single person in this building touching Jeff's coffin and mourning him, almost every single one of them does not realize that this literal hero sitting next to me was a huge part of the reason that Jeff went on for 30 months. There are real heroes in the world. I grew up loving the movies. My wife Jen and I own our small town movie theater. I loved Superman when it came out. Absolutely loved Batman and Spider-Man and all of these heroes. But they weren't really heroes. They were just playing heroes. They were acting. And those heroes are often celebrated by the world, when in reality, there are real heroes in the world walking around amongst us, and those are the individuals that should be celebrated. Doing this documentary, Healing Humanity, The Power of a Proper Human Diet, I've been blessed to travel around the world and talk to so many people that have found healing, both doctors, experts, and individuals. And I believe many of these good doctors are heroes. You can go on Dr. Chaffy's YouTube videos, for example, and see comments that say, "Dr. Chaffy, you saved my life. Dr. Chaffy, I suffered in horrible, agonizing pain from Crohn's disease or IBS, and I watched some of your videos and I implemented what you said and I found healing." I found healing through the Carnivore Diet. It's changed my life forever. It's saved my life. And part of that was due to a Dr. Ken Berry video on type 2 diabetes, reversing type 2 diabetes, where the first comment said, "Dr. Berry, you saved my life." That gave me goosebumps. I'm like, saved it? I'm like, is this even real? And then I started scrolling through the comments. I saw other comments. "You saved my life. You saved my life." That is a hero right there. But it's not just these doctors. I want to tell you a story real quick about a hero, an individual that I met. And it's prompted a big change in some things we've been working on. For those of you that don't know, we're doing a documentary called Healing Humanity, The Power of a Proper Human Diet, where we're following real individuals and we're documenting the stories of individuals that have found incredible healing by returning to a natural diet, a proper human diet. And it's incredible what we found. In the course of doing this, we get a lot of people that they have questions. They need guidance. They want us to hold their hand, help them. They need community. And I get it. I needed all of that as well. So we've been working on a membership site. It's called healinghumanity.life. There's a link in the description below with a special offer if you're interested in signing up and learning more. We've worked so hard on this site. There's a ton of courses you can take at your own pace. I just finished producing a course called Carnivore Foundations. We also have weekly Zoom calls, a lot of them, where you can get on a Zoom call with me or the team or one of the expert doctors like Dr. Kiltz or Dr. Hampton or Dr. Chaffy, where they'll answer your questions. One of the things I'm really excited about is our Healing Humanity Heroes call that we're going to be doing ongoing. And I'm going to tell you what prompted this. It was a hero individual, a Healing Humanity hero individual. And after learning more about this individual, I said, this is incredible. This guy should be celebrated. Everybody should know what this guy did. And I want to hear his story and I want to share his story. We're going to do that on our Healing Humanity Heroes Zoom call on the membership site only, healinghumanity.life. And this person's name is Dwight Garlow.
Dwight's the one that introduced me to the carnivore diet. He's my medicine man. He's my best friend. He is the nicest human being I ever met in my life. He found out later that I had cancer. Right away, he said, "Hey, Jeff, I'm sorry to hear that you're off work. Can I send you some videos?"
And some of you may have heard this name. Dwight was best friends with Jeff De Prosperis, a great friend of mine. Jeff De Prosperis was diagnosed with stage 4 terminal cancer. They gave him 3 months to live. And he was suffering when he first started until Dwight came along and said, "Jeff, I think you need to investigate this carnivore diet. Here's some videos. This is what it did for me." Dwight's been doing carnivore for 5 years. Thank goodness for Dwight, and thank goodness for Jeff, who put in the hard work, incredibly hard work. Jeff was given 3 months to live, and he lived for 30 months, thriving. He overcame depression. He overcame anxiety. He overcame sleep issues. His immune system got stronger. He told me when I interviewed him for our documentary that he felt...
I feel like I don't have cancer.
I feel right now as good as I did in my late 20s, like for sure. And my weight, I am where I wanted to be for the past 20 years. And I'm not, performance-wise, like I think I could step on a soccer pitch and perform the way I did in university right now, the way I feel. And I'm gonna start.
You just got your chemo treatment done a couple days.
I just got my chemo. I had chemo. I had chemo attached to me 2 days ago.
His chemotherapy was now bearable. He was suffering so bad and only given 3 months left to live, and extended his life to almost 2 years longer than he should have. Because of Dwight. Don't get me wrong, because of the hard work that Jeff did. Jeff fasted. He did 55-round fasts and nearly 50 rounds of chemo, and he was thriving. Jeff put in the hard work, but Dwight was there as a hero to guide him on this path, not just say, "Hey, go watch these videos." Dwight was there with him almost on a weekly basis. They'd get together and they'd meet. I was recently honored to be a pallbearer at Jeff De Prosperis' funeral, and so was Dwight. And Dwight's become a good friend of mine. And during this funeral, there were hundreds of people. I'm going to start crying again. There were hundreds of people that came out to honor Jeff De Prosperis. Jeff De Prosperis is a hero. Jeff De Prosperis inspired so many people. But there were hundreds of people at Jeff's service. And I was sitting as a pallbearer at the front of the church. And right to my left was Jeff's coffin. And everyone was coming up, taking communion, and touching Jeff's coffin. And everyone was crying. And everyone was mourning the loss of this incredible, amazing individual, Jeff De Prosperis. And I looked over to my right where Dwight was sitting with the other group of pallbearers with me. And I started crying. I had to pull myself together because this thought entered my brain. Every single person in this building touching Jeff's coffin and mourning him, almost every single one of them does not realize that this literal hero sitting next to me was a huge part of the reason that Jeff went on for 30 months, thriving, living his life to the fullest potential. That's 30 months that he got to spend with his wife and his 2 boys. And everyone there that loved Jeff so much got that extra time with Jeff because of that hero sitting over there, Dwight Garlow. Think about that. And I'm not taking anything away from Jeff because Jeff survived for 30 months extra because of all of his hard work. But Jeff would tell you, without his best friend Dwight guiding him down that path, and not just saying, "Go watch these videos," but holding his hand and taking him. Every week they would meet and they would adjust things and they would tweak things. "Let's try this." Dwight is a walking, living legend hero, and he should be celebrated more so than Superman or Batman that are fake heroes. This man is a real hero. And besides Jeff De Prosperis, Dwight has helped 62 individuals in his community. Dwight lives on a reservation in Canada, and people that live in his community have huge rates of diabetes. And Dwight is helping them reverse their type 2 diabetes, and he's keeping track of them. He is now at 62. I interviewed him a couple months ago, and he was at 57. He's now at 62, helping people through a proper human diet, a return to natural, heal. Find a path to healing, overcome suffering. Some of these people would lose limbs from neuropathy and have limbs removed because of the diabetes. There's people that go blind because of diabetes. There's people that their lives, they may live another 20, 30 years because of this man, Dwight. I said, what do you charge these people for this coaching? I mean, you're literally saving lives, Dwight. $0. Dwight said, I will never charge anyone. After I looked over at Dwight during Jeff's service, I started crying and I had to pull myself together just thinking, how powerful is this? How powerful are these good doctors? Dr. Barry's got comments, you saved my life. Dr. Chaffy's got all these comments, you saved my life. It is so amazing. It's not just the doctors, there are individuals. And as I started thinking about Dwight, then I thought about Ronnie Campbell. Ronnie Campbell is a hero. I thought about this nutritionist, Kim, who's reaching out to the Amish community who would never hear about a proper human diet, and she's helping them heal on an amazing scale. And with the book she's working on, she's a hero. And so as part of our healinghumanity.life membership site, we're going to be launching Healing Humanity Heroes. And Dwight is going to be the first hero that I want to honor on there. I want to bring him on. I want to share his individual inspiring carnivore story. And then I want to celebrate the fact that he's a hero. Even though he's so humble, he's not going to want to talk about it. And then I'm going to open it up to questions for the group. I think this is going to be so useful, so powerful, and so inspiring. People need to stay on track because we're living in a world where we're the odd ones out. And that's what we're trying to do with healinghumanity.life. Not just the Healing Humanity Heroes, but we plan on launching a buddy system so that you can be held accountable. Standard American diet is an addiction. Just like being addicted to alcohol or a hard drug. And what do you do to overcome one of those addictions? You normally join a group, like AA, for example, where you have a mentor. You have someone that you can call on, someone that can support you. We're going to be launching that as part of Healing Humanity. We have a huge community where you can just go in and post your pictures before and after. You can ask questions. You can join our weekly Zoom calls with our good doctors and experts. I'm on every one of these calls. I am here to support you. And as we finish this documentary, we're going to be doing a subsequent series on every one of these health issues, maybe an hour-long episode on cancer, fertility issues, type 2 diabetes, autoimmune disorders. We're going to do a video for veterans, service men and women in mental health. This is going to go on forever, and we need a place to send these individuals so that they can stay on track, so that they can stay inspired, so that they can stay motivated. If you sign up, we will help you do just that. And also, funds from this membership site are going to support the incredible team that's putting all of this together, but also going to support these efforts so that we can do the subsequent series and we can just keep filming because more and more stories are coming out. And we're also finding stories in healinghumanity.life, the membership site itself. People are posting their before and after pictures. Some of these are incredible, and some of these may end up in our Healing Humanity subsequent series as well. So if you want to learn more, I'm so excited. There are real heroes out there in the world walking amongst us, and those are the voices that we should celebrate. And we're going to be doing that at healinghumanity.life. If you want to join or learn more, we have a special offer. It's going to end soon. Link in the description below. Thank you so much for watching.